Welcome to the Riverpoint tutorial. This will be part 2 in where we're going to create a paper and insert references part 1. We're going to click on Riverpoint Writer. We're going to go to create a paper. The title for this one will be General. It already has my name, which you have your name. The course number GEN 601. The due date July 2214. The faculty name, either professor, instructor, or doctor. In this case, Dr. John Doe. We'll click OK. We will go back where it says General to the cover page, where it says the name of the title with the running header on the top left, the page number on the top right, the name of the student, the name of the class, the day is due, and the name of the professor. As we see on page 2, the blinking cursor already has the following, that it's ready to go. We're going to go to a part that I'm going to use at this moment. And I opened up another paper, and for the reason was just to use the thesis. I'm going to copy and paste. Go back to the paper, and I'm just going to paste. It already showed the indentation of the project, and basically this is my thesis statement from a paper that I'm using, that I used recently, and it's basically right here. It's 122 words. Usually your thesis statement is anywhere between 115 to about 250 words, as more clear and concise, and it's actually better according to the professor's terms. Sometimes you do have to elaborate, and their thesis is basically what you are trying to prove your point across, or what the purpose of the paper is all about. We're going to head to a reference. Well, I'm going to go back to another paper. The same paper, I'm going to go somewhere else. And what I decided to use is that part of this paper, I'm going to use a quote, which I'm going to create a reference out of. I'm going to copy this part here, if I'm able to. I'm going to try again. Actually, I'm just going to Control C as a shortcut. Go back to my paper, press Enter, and Control V. Okay. If anything, you just highlight Control C, and then you paste with Control V. I'm going to take out Murray right here, and I'm going to do end quote period. Excuse me. Sorry, I have this in another language mode. I'm going to switch to English. So, quote period. Create a space. And where it's going to say create and add a reference. Right click, create and add a reference. In this case, we're going to use a book. The book, the author, we're going to click on add an author. If the author is an organization, we're going to click on author organization. It's going to say organization name, and you're going to put the name of the organization. In this case, we're going to use an author. The first name or first initial, we'll put J. L for middle initial, Smith. Create the author entry. The book title is Sports Facilities. Year of publication 2014. City of publication New York. You will find all of this in the first page of the book, where it's going to list the author. It's also going to list the publication company, or the editing company of this book, the state of publication. In this case, we're going to use New York. We scroll down to New York. The publisher. Let's use, for example, a big known publisher, McGraw-Hill. If there's an edition to this book, you will just click on edition and scroll down to revise, second, and we'll go all the way to the 20th. So we're going to go to second edition and create a reference. automatically is going to lead you to the reference page. That reference page is going to go first in order, and then eventually as you add more references, it's going to go into alphabetical order. We're going to go back to the end, to before the end quote. We're going to right click, close this, space. Sometimes I have to do the following. Not all programs are self-obedient, so knowing by logic, I can find another space and do an insert citation. So click right on insert a citation, and we see that Smith is there. We'll just add Smith. But what I do is that I will copy and paste Smith, Control C, I'll delete, and then come back to Control V, end quote, period, and we go on. Going to use another part of a paper here. Just give me one moment. In this case, we're going to use one from a journal. I'm going to copy, head back to my paper. Now remember that you are writing these papers, and I'm just going to paste. I'm going to take off wake right here. And space. And create an added reference. We're going to head to journal. In journal, there's going to be author. So the author will be J. Jones, no middle initial. The article will be, in this case, leadership, data publication. Always remember data publication when we are going towards either a reference of a journal or website or podcast. You will have to put the data publication. That year will be 2014, and we're going to put it for April. The journal title is Leadership Progress. The volume number, it's always going to be located on a journal. Volume number, in this case, will be 4. The issue number will also be located as issue number. Either it could be 4 times a year, so they will go by 1, 2, 3, 4, or it's a monthly, 1 through 12. In this case, we're going to go with 4 because it's a monthly one. The article pages, you have to list the article pages. So in this case, the article pages starts at page 100 and ends at 125. If it's an online journal, we're going to click on online. The DOI, which if you look on the right hand corner, is going to stand for Digital Object Identifier, which is an identification record provided by the publisher. If your journal has a DOI, use the DOI in lieu of the journal's website and URL. If it has the journal's website, let's put in the journal's website. But in this case, we're going to put in a DOI. DOI will be 2014-04-04, and we're going to create the reference. And for a journal, it's going to show Jones, 2014 April, leadership progress in italics, parentheses 4, pages 100 to 125, the DOI, and its number. When you look at the book, which is Smith JL 2014 Sports Facilities, the name of the title will be in italics, second edition, New York, New York, and the colon and the name of the publishing company. Okay, if I were to put something in regards such as a podcast, I will do the following. I'm going to create an added reference. Podcasts are videos or just audio conversations, audio interviews. In this situation, I'm going to click on add a presenter. The presenter will be, let's say, Bill Gates. His real name is William, so we're going to go W, last name Gates. Was he the speaker or the producer? In this case, he is the speaker. Speaker. We're going to create author entry. The podcast title. Leadership Essentials. The podcast release date. The year, always. 2012 in this case. And the month, April. And the date, 15. We're going to click on what's audio or video. In case it was video. The podcast website address, we're going to put Microsoft.com, hashtag videos, hashtag Gates, and create that reference. And it will show Gates, W, speaker, 2012, April 15th, Leadership Essentials video podcast, retrieved from the specific website. We're going to go back here. We're going to right click, insert the citation. We're going to go to Gates and insert and fix our spacing. And fix our spacing here. And fix our spacing here again. And that will be it. Always remember that you are going to do your quotation, end quote, period, go back in front of the end quote, create a space, create a reference, and then insert the reference. The next video, we're going to review all the processes and other elements that are on Riverpoint Writer. Any questions? Just drop me a call. Thank you.